Known, my dear remnant people of God. This is the chosen ones. These are the people who went through the time of tribulation, who endured all the hardships, and they are finally here, right before entering the promised land. It is crazy, but we're excited to be here actually. So this is going to be a multi-sensory experience. What we're going to do for the next couple of minutes is we're going to make a nice cup of chai. So while we're doing that, though, we're going to go on a journey. Okay, we're going to go on a journey from leaf to cup. We're going to make some pit stops along the way, and it's going to be an exciting journey. Now let's get some demographics here. Raise your hands if you are members or attendees of the Coeur d'Alene Church. Okay, that's most of us. Okay, good stuff. Raise your hands if you're coming from outside and you just heard about this and like, oh wow, look at that. So these are, keep your hands up. Actually, I want to say, okay, this is great, amazing. These are guests. Thank you. Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Church. Love that you are here. So yeah, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kevin, Pastor Kevin by some, PK by some, Chaplain Chai by many, where I just make tea online and talk about life and stories and culture and Christianity and all these different things. So we have a community, a small community online, our besties, as I call it. And so if you want more information about all this stuff, it's Cross Culture Kev on Instagram, if you're on social media, crossculturekev.com. We'll talk about all that stuff in a few minutes. But let's make some tea. And raise your hands, actually, have you tried, who has tried to make their own chai at home? Okay, there's a few of us here. That's good. So it's gonna be a new experience for a lot of people, even for those of us who have also made it at home. And here's the thing about chai. It's a little tricky because what I'm doing is a kind of a brave thing. Every single South Asian home will have their own recipe, and nobody can tell any other grandma or uncle or auntie that their recipe is less than theirs. It's a very it's a recipe. It's a drink that's very rooted in our cultures, and so I'm taking a risk here. I'm going to show you how I make it. I'm going to learn some things along the way. So before we get started, I'm going to go through just what we have here. So this is called let's just say a pop quiz. What do you call this? Someone said a pot. You are not wrong, but you're also not right, sir. I'm so sorry. This is, have you seen this before? What do you think is inside these? Someone said it. Spices, yeah. So this is called a masala dabba in Hindi. Masala is the Hindi word for spice. So masala chai is spiced chai, right? Spices. So inside this, if you can see it, there's different canisters. And each of these canisters hold a different spice. So there's like 6 of these here. So there's fennel and cinnamon. And if you go to a South Asian home, people will have multiple masala dabbas in their house for different purposes. So we have one just for curries and the food that we make, and we have one just for chai. So it depends on like how deep you want to get into the process. So, yep, this is spices here, and then the tea that we're going to use. We cannot have masala chai without the tea. So this is essentially just a regular random tin here, but this is just loose leaf tea. And there's so many different types of tea that you can use, but for chai, you want to use loose leaf black tea. Now, when you're talking about black tea, that's a whole different world because we have different grades of black tea depending on which part of the world you're sourcing the tea from. In Sri Lanka, where I was born, we have our own grades of tea. There's different grades and classifications of like what type of tea is a good tea. So the thing is, the tea that you grow is dependent on the terroir of the land. I don't know if I'm not a French speaker, but it's Terroir. Terroir, terroir. So when you're talking about wine, for example, you're talking about the terroir of wine. Or if you're talking about chocolate, terroir of wine. Basically what that means is the biochemical processes, the geological conditions, the soil quality, the air quality, the wind quality, all that stuff that is very important to keep in mind in order for you to make a really good cup of chai, really good cup of tea. So when you taste tea, you're not just tasting tea, you're tasting rain. You're tasting clouds. You're tasting sunshine, sunlight. And you need to have the right conditions in order to have the right type of tea. So that reminds me that character is, for me, I think, is the terroir of our beings. It's the subterranean foundation of our lives from which all our actions and thoughts and principles and emotions grow. That's the terroir. And so I talk about all that stuff in this book here. And the terroir is basically based on two things. When it comes to character is based on two things. What commitments are we making on our day-to-day life, and what confrontations are we having on a day-to-day basis? Those things shape our character. In the same way, those things also shape how the tea interacts with the soil and the air and the sunlight. So let's. So we're going to talk about. We're going to get into our tea process right now. So we have a pot, and we are going to make about 4 cups. I would say 4 cups of masala chai. So if you want to make cups, when I talk about a cup, I'm literally talking about the cup that we are using to serve your chai. Ideally, it's 4 of the same type of cup that you have. So in this case, I'm going to have these small cups here. So the ratio that I typically try to use is 1-to-1 ratio for water to milk. But then I will reduce a little bit of the water and I'll add a little bit more milk. I kind of eyeball all that stuff. But I want to talk about all that stuff in a few minutes. So I'm going to add, this is about 1 cup of water, and then maybe this is about another, let's do another, 2 cups of water right there. I think that's going to be more than enough. And what we're going to do with chai is we're going to have to start layering things. It's not this soup where you put like a whole bunch of stuff all together and just make this thing brew, and then hopefully you'll get some good chai at the end. You'll probably get some heart attack at the end with that one. We don't want that, but bless your heart. So we want to actually start layering things. We're going to be careful, and we're going to make this thing methodically, because each of the flavors have different properties, and each of them react to the different ingredients in a different way. So with the water, I'm going to start heating up the water. Before you start heating up the water, I'm going to actually start with our ginger. So I have pieces of ginger here. Ginger, if you notice, I've just cut this fresh ginger. And I'm going to approximately use maybe about maybe 2 teaspoons of ginger for this. Notice that I still have the skin on. Yeah, some people take the skin off. We wash the ginger, and we just put it straight, because the skin actually has really good healing properties, actually really good for you. So I just do a light crush of the ginger, and into warm water we're gonna add this crushed ginger. It's nothing, not a coarse, not a fine crush, just this is almost like, see this, it's not even fully done, but it's okay, it's all right. Just put a little bit of that into the water, okay. And I might even actually add another ginger, because why not? Why not? Okay, so I'm just going to add something. So some people prefer little ginger to a lot of ginger. It's all preference. It's all preference. Now let's turn this thing on. And okay, and it's turned off. Heat is on. While the heat is on, we're going to start heating up the water. I'm going to actually start making my spice blend. So typically what actually happens is the main spices that you want to use for chai is cardamom, cinnamon, and cloves. Those are the main things that you would want to start off as kind of a blank canvas. Cinnamon, cardamom, and cloves. And everything else, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is extra. So I'm going to add a little bit of cardamom here. So when it comes to the actual recipes and measurements and things like that, it's all in the book and also in my in my videos. I have a ton of videos there. But you know what? The reason why I eyeball these recipes is because this is how my dad and my mom and my grandmother made their food. It was they measured it from the heart, you know. And when I first came to the United States when I was 18 years old, I came here with 2 suitcases and a backpack, and to Andrews University, my first time outside of the country, my first time outside of my family. And I just went, as a family, we applied for the green card online, and I was the only one who got it. The US had, at the time, a DV1 lottery program. So basically how that works is you apply as a family, but not all members of your family would get accepted. So I was the only one who got accepted. So I went from not knowing what I was going to do after high school to coming to the United States with 2 suitcases and a backpack. And one of the things that I was looking forward to was connecting to home. And I remember, some of those lonely, sleepless nights trying to figure out, man, what would my parents do? What would they do right now? It's like, they'll probably cook a meal right now. So I would actually cook meals without a recipe, because that's what my grandmother did. That's what my mom did, my dad did. So cooking chai or making chai without a recipe reminds me that some of the best things in life are things that you cannot measure. Like the power of a story, power of a conversation, maybe some tears, some laughter, silence. Can't measure that. So we have a spice blend, and I've stopped the water here because I want to talk about the spices for a little bit. Did you know that, so there's a little bit of a spice blend that I have right here. Masala chai was actually a beverage of protest. Back during the time of colonization, when the British came to India, they conscripted workers to work in the tea plantations, and they had their own version of tea, which was black tea, some water, maybe a spot of milk, which was not familiar to the Indians at the time, because the South Asians, we like to cook with a lot of seasoning and all these different things. And so the chai wallas at the train stations, these are the chai baristas who sell chai for people who are going between work or going to their home. What they would do is they would crush up spices that is common to their cuisine, and they would secretly add those spices to the tea, and they sell it. And over time, it just caught on. And masala chai, spice chai, actually catalyzed the Indian independence from the British rule, because it was a way of them reclaiming power, reclaiming the narrative. It's almost a way of saying, yep, this is our crop. This is our spices. You're on borrowed land. You're also on borrowed time. And so that actually, so that's something for me to keep in mind, because masala chai reminds me that the story that we have, the story that I have, who I am right now was because of the people, my ancestors, who have fought hard for the privileges that I have right now. And for those of you too, when you think about the communities and the tribes and the people in your life that have fought, that have sacrificed to make sure that you are where you are. So for me, tea is a reminder that I'm a product of these stories, that this drink is a distillation of multiple stories. Stories of struggle, stories of resilience, right? And so that's something that's super important when you think about chai, and also the other foods that you consume as well. So I'm gonna put the spices here, and we're gonna actually add some tea in a few minutes. The thing about chai is the black tea is that whether it's green tea, whether it's oolong tea, whether it's Earl Grey, whether it's Assam CTC, all of the teas come from one species, the Camellia sinensis. The difference between all the different teas is basically how they're prepared and how they're processed. And it's really interesting because it reminds me of a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. where he says, all mankind is tied together, all life is interrelated, and we are all caught in this inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. If one person is affected, all of us are affected. Right? So chai reminds me that that our differences may be a lot. We might have all these differences, but in the end of the day, we are all human. And that we have there's something common that binds all of us together. So I'm going to add some tea here, maybe 2 teaspoons of tea right there. And I'm going to just reduce the heat just a little bit. Okay. And what I'm trying to do is I'm looking for a couple of different things. I'm looking for color. I'm looking for aroma. I'm trying to get the right smells right now. And let's see here. And I would not put the milk in just as yet. So what I'm looking for is like a boil. So right now what I'm looking at is the chai is actually boiling a little bit. And it's coming to a full boil. And as it comes to a full boil, I'll just keep stirring it. And what I'm doing right now, the way I'm stirring, it's called aeration. Because essentially, I'm just stirring it. I'm putting it back. I'm taking the liquid, putting it back. Taking the liquid, putting it back. And it's kind of like adding air molecules to the chai. I'm going to do some aeration towards the end as well, so you're going to see it in a few minutes. Okay. While this is happening, so I'm going to wait for just a little bit. And this stove is doing its job. It's heating up really fast. So I'm going to rush this process, actually. So this actually reminds me of something that I wrote in the book, too. So I'm using extra creamy oat milk here. Okay, by the way, let me pause here. Little sidebar. Nope. We're good now. If you're going dairy-free, there's 2 brands that I enjoy. Again, I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. I wish they would give me money to talk about this, but I don't. I'm poor. I'm still poor. Okay? Even with all this. No chai money. Chai money, this is not money. No money. So extra creamy Chobani oat milk, you can find in your Safeway. And where else? Yeah, in most grocery stores, really. Then also full-fat Oatly. Full-fat Oatly. Very, very good. That's probably my first choice, and this is my second choice. Anything else is up between you and the Lord. The rule of thumb that you want to keep in mind when you're choosing milks is that you want to choose something that's flavor neutral, but also very viscous, meaning it's thick. So none of that, skim, lean milk, all of that stuff. Just give that to other people. They don't. You need the real stuff. Full fat, go big or go home. Okay. So for oat milk, full fat, Chobani full fat Oatly. For regular, full whole milk. Their Costco milk is actually pretty good. I've tried different types of milk. It's really, really good too. So that's that. I'm going to put it back to the heat here. Something about the heat. Heat management requires attention. You have to pay attention to chai. You can't make the thing and go and scroll on social media or go do your homework and come back. No, because you will then, if you wait too long, you're going to taste stovetop flavored chai. It's going to come over. But if you if you take it too early, then the flavors won't be good enough. So you have to pay attention. The quality of your chai depends on the quality of your attention. Just like most things in life. The quality of your life is measured by the quality of your attention. Where are you placing your attention? The things that you pay attention to shape you, shape your mind, shape your hearts. And that's why, for me, making chai is a feast of attention. That's inspired by the quote by Rabbi Abraham Heschel in the book when he talks about the Sabbath, where he talks about how for him, the Sabbath is a feast of attention, where the Sabbath is a 24-hour time where he's just focused on the now, on the present, on just being. And in this age where there's so many things vying for our attention, there's so many things, the most valuable currency in the world right now is your attention. You know how many millions and billions of dollars people are spending to get your attention on social media? Yeah. Like all these guys, and as I'm saying that as someone who's on social media for different things. Like, man, it's all attention leverage. But you have the choice, you have the chance. What are you paying attention to? Because here's the thing. We talk about discipleship. We're talking mostly a Christian audience here. We talk about discipleship. It's one thing to come once a week to church and learn from the pastor or the preacher or the sermon. But then think about what are the other things that are discipling you during the week. What are the news things that you're watching every day? What are the social media personalities that you're following every day? What are the books that you're reading every day? What are the sources of information that you're consuming every day? Because those things are also forming you. People think that we are formed just by the knowledge that we receive. No. As James K. A. Smith, this author, he's wrote an amazing book. It's called "You Are What You Love." I mean, please read that book if you're talking about how it's a really good primer on discipleship and formation. And he talks about how you are not what you know, you are what you love. You are shaped by the things that you love, not by the things that you know. And so you can know something, but then you're actually really formed by the things that you really, really love, right? So something to keep in mind. So I'm looking for a couple of things here, and the color's looking good, but it's a little too dark for me right now in the color. So if it's a little too dark, I'm going to add a little bit more milk, because the color that I want is the color of a happy brown boy. Just look at my face. Yeah? Take a mental snapshot. This is the color that you want. In your child. Oh, it's so funny. If you want more details, again, it's in the book. Shameless plug. It's there. It's all there. But so I'm still waiting for a couple of things here. I'm waiting for boil now. I'm waiting for the boil. There's a couple of different things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for small bubbles. I'm looking for medium bubbles. And then I'm looking for the chai to actually just like come up. That's when I know the thing is done. But here's the thing, especially when I was making chai for everybody. By the way, everybody's going to get to try it today. Once you put all the things, it's easy to get impatient. You'll be like, nothing is happening. What's happening? There's no boils. Kevin told me there's going to be boils. Kevin told me there's going to be bubbles. There's no bubbles. Everybody relax. Because as long as the heat is turned on, you know that things are happening. Heat is taking place. But at the right time, it's going to just foam over. So this is something to keep in mind too. Like what seems like wasted energy in your life is but stored energy for a breakthrough. Think about that. What you think about wasted or like, I don't know I don't know if that's, I don't see any activity. I don't see the thing. I'm hustling. I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm trying to work on my marriage. I'm trying to work on this project, or I'm trying to work on this church or this thing, but it's still not happening. Put in the reps, and at the right time, the promise is God will lift you up. And the process will mature in the right time. And because sometimes you have to go through the process, whatever the process is, in order for you to appreciate the product, in order for you to appreciate the end result. You have to go through it. So right now, as I'm looking at it, I'm not stirring. If you keep stirring, you're going to actually affect the time it's going to take to boil over. So I'm just doing nothing here and see what's happening right now. I mean, I wish you can see it, but basically what's happening is this thing is just about to boil over. And It's boiling like it's like really crazy right now. And it's still not done. I'm still waiting for it to come up. I'm talking about attention, looking at it. Done. Yeah. So you see how fast that thing happens? If you're not careful, if you're not paying attention, it's gone. So I'm going to put it back for one more, it's called one more rolling boil. And, that color, amazing. So good. Nice. A lot of people took this hobby up during the pandemic. I know I talked to somebody today. They're saying how during the pandemic this was the activity. It's what they did every day or every Saturday. Turn it off. Something about just like working with the hands, working with something, and then you get to try it and eat it at the end or drink it at the end. Oh, so good. Okay. So pretty much done. Now, notice that we hadn't added something. What do we need to add at this point? Somebody said licorice. I will pray for you. Pray hard for you. Bless your heart and your taste buds. Oh, what am I doing? I'm adding tea. I'm adding salt. Psych! Adding sugar, right? So we're going to add some sugar. So how much sugar do you need to add? That's 3 teaspoons, right? You want to add one more? Huh? I didn't say, he said so. No more sugar? He said more? Okay, more. I don't know. Hey, these are your church members, not mine. Okay? So let's try some diabetes chai. Actually, no, it's not going to be. Trust me, this whole idea of like chai being like a really spicy, like somebody punch your throat chai, like it's a very Western thing, by the way. Everybody's like, someone tries, like, oh my God, it's not spicy enough. First of all, you need more excitement in your life, okay? First of all, go paddleboarding, go climb a mountain, go swim with a shark, something. Don't project your trauma onto the chai. Like, let the chai be what it's supposed to be. Yeah. So, but it has to be a little bit sweet. Just, wow, that's good. Who wants to try this? Put your hands down. I like it a lot. Okay, so now what we're going to do is what are you going to do right now? What do you think? We are going to, not someone said clean up. That's your job. I'm just here to do the thing. I'm going to walk away. Just kidding. So, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's go. We're going to strain. Okay, we're going to strain. So basically, let's put this here. So essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm going to put it here. So this is straining, where you're going to strain out all the solids. Yes. One of my friends, when I was a student missionary in Lebanon, I was making chai for him, and this brother insisted that I don't strain his chai. And he ate the solids. He's like, I want to experience the culture. It's like, not like that, my guy. Let me tell you how to experience my culture. It's like, no, the ginger, the spice. It's like, bro, chill out. Relax. Okay. I think I'm going to, so please do not eat the solids. Don't do that. That is not good. It will ruin your experience. So there's still some chai left over, but now we are going to aerate. So this is the fun part. This is where usually people take their phones or whatever. You don't have to. But this is called aeration, where I'm going to empty out the contents of one pitcher onto another. Why am I doing this? It's because it's going to add a little bit more body, a little bit more depth to the chai, because and it also deepens the flavors a little bit, and also it cools the chai just a little bit to the mouth. So I'm going to probably do that a little bit there. And when you go to places like South Asia and Malaysia, this is a performance art for a lot of people. And what's going to happen here, so you want to, all this foam is what you want. You can also do that if you have a coffee machine. You can add the milk frother. You can do this too. But, life is short. Just have fun with it. And if you spill, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. No problem. And look at that. So what you want to see is just foam on the top. You should not be able to see any liquid. If you see the liquid, then that means the milk is too thin. Yeah. And so this is and when you shake it, like I should not be able to see any liquid underneath, just the foam on top. That's when you know it's good. It's quality. We're ready to go. Okay, let's see. We have some cups here. And we are going to serve. Okay, let's first of all taste test. For me. Because if it sucks, I'm not going to serve you this. Okay, let's see. We'll try a little bit. So just breathe. And then there's also a way to taste chai too, if you want to get really bougie with it. So essentially, you go take a little bit to the tip of the cup, and then go. Just take. You almost want to take a little bit of it through your teeth, like it's almost like inhale, just like yeah, and then make the chai just coat all areas of your mouth, and then you'll be able to kind of get a fuller resolution of all the flavors. Now, not fun fact, sorry, this is crazy. My cousin in Sri Lanka, my dad's sister's son is an assistant tea estate manager in one of the tea estates in Sri Lanka. One of the things that he does every single day, he has a guy put a full line of tea, just water and tea, and it's strained. But it's like out of the 50, 60 cups in one line, and this guy goes around tasting it a little bit of, and then spitting it onto a different, and then he'll mouth out some words as he's taste testing each of the cup, and he'll mouth off numbers. He'll be like, this is hot, this is 573, dark, toasty, this, that, and he goes through all these things. And I asked him, bro, like, what are these numbers? And you know what he said? He said, these are the actual altitudes of the tea estate from which the tea came from. What? It's wild. Just by tasting, and they all look kind of the same to me, but for him it's like, that's coppery, that's mellow, that's bright, and things like that. And those who are into coffee, you understand what I'm talking about, like those notes and all that stuff. And it was amazing, but he's trained his memory palate to taste that. We are a product of our memories. What memories do you have? What memories are forming you? That's good. That's good. Yeah, this is good. It's not as sweet, but it's okay. It's my chai. You know what? Let's fix that. Done. It's okay. Everybody relax. Relax. It's just sugar. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You'll be fine. You will be okay. All right? Okay, so let's start serving. We're almost done here. Boom. There's one. And there's there's 2. And there's 3. And there's, oh, look at that. 4. Perfect. Nice. Amazing. 4 cups of chai. Nice. Okay, who gets to try it? There's 5. Okay, I guess there's a 5th cup as well, apparently. So we're gonna do another cup here. This is good. There. Boom. So there's 5 cups. There's a problem here. I have only 4 cups. So, so Joey's gonna actually go get some. While that's happening, okay. I think if it all works out, there's 4 people or 5 people who are gonna try it, and the 5 people will know who they are. And oh, perfect. Thank you, Pastor. So they don't know. Okay. So there's a paper behind. Okay. Thank you, Pastor Joey. So for sure, there are going to be 5 people trying it. If you have a paper behind your seat, you get to come up. Was it underneath or behind? Behind? If you have one, come to the front. Oh, it's a pink paper. It's a pink paper. Yeah, don't give me any. Yeah, the church bulletin does not count. Okay? Pink paper. Oh, look at that. Okay, we got Pastor Jeremy out here. Okay. Nice. Okay, we got how many? 1, 2. Okay, excellent. Okay, please make a single file line. Oh, wow. And then there's, oh, wow. Good stuff. Do you have a rowing mic here, maybe, that we can use? Let's see if we can introduce these people really quick. Okay. Why don't you just go around and introduce name and your tie to Coeur d'Alene?
How do I say it? Indian or from Sri Lanka?
I'm just asking your name, bro. Right, what?
Part of the culture, you know.
So you can still be part of the culture by trying this.
Edwin.
You're Edwin?
Yeah.
Okay, Edwin. That's how I say Edwin in my culture as well. Okay. Yeah, what is it? Sue.
Jeremiah.
Ketriana. Wow, that's very nice.
Michael.
Michael, Ketriana, Sue, Jeremy, and Edwin. Okay, good stuff. Have you guys tried chai before? Yes? Every day? Okay. So this is great. So we're gonna try. Everybody's gonna try. Don't drink, not yet. Okay, don't drink, not yet. Okay, good stuff. We can take this. Okay, perfect. Here, take this. Okay. Yes. Good stuff. All right, so we're gonna try it, and let's try it all together. 3, 2, 1, try. Okay. Oh, good stuff. We got a vacuum cleaner out here. Very nice. Good stuff. Very good. Okay, what is this? What things are you tasting, and what things what are you feeling? Is this something that you're used to? Again, notice that we just did it. This is just a quick way of just making some chai from scratch. Any thoughts? Any reflections? Yes, Sue?
It's way better than the tea bags.
Oh, okay. We'll take that. Way better than the tea bags. In what way, though? Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
There's a lot more depth to the different spices.
Depth to the different spices. Anything else? Anybody else?
I would drink this every day.
Okay. Fun fact about chai intake. Someone asked me earlier, how much caffeine is in a cup of chai. You have less than 1/4 the amount of caffeine in the same cup of chai as in a cup of coffee. So it's very, very less. So it's enough to give you a little bit of an excitement in the morning without the jitters. No codependency with chai. As a matter of fact, all the different the spices, all that stuff is actually really, really good for you too. So yeah, if there's something that you want to drink every day, chai would be a good contender. Good stuff. How is it, Edwin?
Altitude like 573.
Oh, wow, okay, enough. Yeah, this is too, this guy is giving altitude. Man. 573. It's actually 635, but you're close. That's good. Excellent. Good stuff. Well, everybody give a round of applause to wonderful people. You can go back to your seats. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to end this time with a little bit of with an excerpt from the book here, from this book, The Way of Chai. This is essentially like a whole journey from leaf to pour, stories from the South Asian experience, and essentially it's geared towards anybody who just wants to be reminded how beautiful they are, how beautiful their story is. So I want to end with this little excerpt. As you sip your chai today, as you drink your chai today, may it remind you that your story is neither an afterthought or an anecdote, but a saga, a multicolored tapestry of tales representing a genealogy of difficulties, of joys and hopes, all tied together by a single thread of courage, bonded by the thick adhesive of relationships, and held together by a single cup. So may this experience bless you, and may you go with God. May you go knowing full well that God is with you, and God is writing your story one day at a time, one step at a time. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Also, let me talk about this for a little bit here. This is our second year doing this, so it's called Cross Culture Tours. Every year, this is a dream that we've had for so many years, where we want to ask ourselves, by we I mean my family and myself, we were like, hey, what can we do to give back to marginalized communities in Sri Lanka? Because you see, the tea plantation workers, even today, are the most marginalized group in the island. They don't get much government funding. They are the last group of people to actually receive any type of benefit of funding. And yet, these are the people who actually are important and absolutely vital to the tea making process. So my great-grandfather was a tea plantation worker, and I'm a grandson of a tea plantation worker. So for my grandfather to see that I'm doing all these things in a different country, for him it'll be like it's like, whoa, like he wouldn't even believe it. It's not even in his dream. As a matter of fact, the book was dedicated to him. So we were thinking about like, how can we give back to this community, marginalized communities, and we came up with this idea. Let's say, hey, can we take a group of people to Sri Lanka, do a whole immersive experience for the entire island, and they get to go see the tea plantation work, and all the different cultural amenities in Sri Lanka, and taste, obviously, tea. But also, a portion of the tour fees go into building a physical building or a project or a facility in Sri Lanka that's going to outlive all of us. So last year, we actually built a school, the Gartmore School, in the marginalized tea, one of the tea estates. And it was one of the most amazing feelings ever. So if you're interested in, even vaguely interested in going on this tour, thinking about the details, I would love for you to kind of scan it, and or even email us at info@crossculturetours, where we will have a webinar with a lot of information as to pricing, this, that, all of that stuff. And it's a life-changing trip. Honestly, it's a life-changing trip for anybody. Because someone once told me that the fish knows the beauty of water once it's outside of it. It's a quote from the African continent. The fish knows the beauty of water once it's outside of it. In other words, when you are outside of your comfort zone, learning about different cultures, that actually helps you to understand your cultures even more. That helps you understand your story even more. And so that's what we saw, and that's what we experienced in Sri Lanka. So we'd love for you to join us if you are willing. The seats are very, very limited to make sure that the conversations are rich. And so anyhow, so that's just a little plug for the tour, for those of you who are interested. But thank you so much for being here, and we'd love for you'll get to taste the chai, and super excited for Joey and for all the church for having me and my family over. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you guys. The chai we made was really good. I didn't touch the chai, so it's good. yeah, thank you, Kevin, for coming. You know, not just coming here, but being a great friend and everything else.
Yep.
And so, trust me. So we have chai outside.
Yep.
So there's two. So there's oat regular, which is with oat milk, and there's oat strong. And then oat strong is just
Yeah, so there's regular oat milk, and then there's a little stronger oat milk, but then there's also one with just regular milk, which is whole milk, evaporated milk, and condensed milk,
it's a lot better.
which is really good. That's my preferred one. So if you absolutely cannot have dairy, then try the oat milks first. But then I would love for you to try. If not, try the other ones. There's enough. I think there's enough for everybody. Honestly, I think there's enough.
We
for
have
everybody.
lactate. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have lactate. But yes, we also have that. And dealing with cross cultures, I thought it would be awesome experience. My brother, he's a baker at our bakery
Yes.
back home. He brought some sweet bread as well. It's in a package, and so enjoy my Mexican culture and Sri Lankan culture together.
Cross-cultural. Yes.
Cross-cultural.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But before we end, let's have a word of prayer. Dear God in heaven, we thank you for this weekend, Lord. Thank you for giving us these different cultures and these friendships around community, Lord. We just thank you for being in the gap, being in the uncomfortable spaces with us and calling us to be there as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for this weekend of just enlightenment and great food and this great chai, Lord. We love you and we can't wait to see you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
So, also with the bread, it could be a little messy, so take a little plate. And yes, be blessed. Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna try the one you want.
Yeah.